Whether it is personal life or professional life, communication plays a significant role, and in fact the existence of our relationships and the quality of our relationship is dependent on our communication. And now the question is how to improve your communication skill. One single element communication skill could make you hero to zero. It depends upon your effectiveness and clarity of communication. And today we are going to discuss how to improve your communication skill. Before jumping into the discussion of improving your communication skill, first of all, we have to know what is communication. Communication is the process of sharing and receiving information. It has got four main types. First of all is verbal communication. Verbal communication means using the written or spoken words. Just like I'm communicating to you, I'm talking to you, I'm using the spoken words. If I also write articles, my written words are also verbal communication. Second is non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication means my body language, just like I'm shrugging now, or using the hands, fingers, looking at someone, staring at someone, smiling, frowning. These body language and gestures are the non-verbal communication. And third is written communication. Written communication, as the name implies, by using the symbol, words, numbers, you convey your message by using the words, symbols, numbers. And fourth is visual presentation or visual communication. Visual communication, as the name implies, you use PowerPoint presentation, audio, videos to convey your message. And these are the four main types of communication. Now it is time to discuss how to improve your communication skill. First of all is your body language and gestures. And according to an estimate, approximately 55% of our communication comprises of nonverbal cues. Is our gestures, our smile, the body language, how we move, how we look at someone. And the more clear your gestures are, the more clear your body language is, the more effective would be your communication skill. And you should avoid crossing arms or standing lazily. And the lazy posture, standing on one feet, looking at odd way, and frowning, your words, your verbal communication and your gestures should be in alignment. And if, for instance, if you are talking about a joke, then your body language should be, and you should be smiling, you should have a smiling face, open body gesture. If you are talking about something serious, then you should have serious expression on your face. So your body language and your expressions and your verbal communication, they should be in alignment. According to a study conducted by Stanford University in the early 90s, and it concluded that most of the speakers, they overestimate the understanding and the comprehension skill of the listeners. They think that whatever they are saying, their listener, their audience is understanding them, but this is not the case. And their study comprised of listeners and tappers. Tappers were those people, they were tapping the melody of famous songs by tapping. And the role of listeners were to identify the melody of the song, and they guessed it around about only 2.5% of the time, and the rest 97.5% they were wrong. It shows a vast gap between the communicator and the listener. While whether you are talking with the friends or business communication or addressing the family or some public crowd, you should lower yourself to the audience, to the comprehension of audience level. So you should speak the language whatever they understand, and that's how you can minimize the gap. The other important thing to keep in mind, some of the two top tech giant companies like Apple and Facebook, they banned the usage of PowerPoint presentation in their meetings, because the PowerPoint presentation and the audio visual mode, if you want to make a better impression, then use your own skill, use your own communication, your verbal skill, your work on your verbal skill, your body language. If you are planning to use the audio visual mode, like PowerPoint presentation or the video presentation, then it would distract the attention of audience. So therefore you should avoid relying on the audio visual presentation. You should focus on yourself, on your content, on the delivery of the content. And the important thing to keep in mind that communication is a learned art. The only way to perfect it is by practice, and practice makes a man perfect. And the next is feedback. Feedback is very important, and the feedback, if you are giving feedback to someone, then your feedback should be honest, and it should be if it is you want to improve someone, the quality of someone, or improve the performance of someone, then your criticism should be constructive criticism. It should be in a positive tone, instead of only criticizing someone in the belittling or the negative tone. The tone matters while offering someone the feedback. It doesn't matter however interesting your content is, if you are not connecting with the audience, if you are not listening to the audience, if you are not lowering yourself to the audience level, then the people won't pay attention to you, because you have to connect with the audience. You have to ask questions. What are they thinking about? If your audience is not at the right mindset, then you won't be able to communicate with them. So in order to be an effective in the communication, you should connect with the audience. You should ask questions before starting the presentation. You should know the level of your audience. Where are they? So you should speak to their level. Another fun fact to remember is people only remember what you say in the beginning or what you say at the end, and they forget whatever you say. Approximately 90% of the time they forget whatever you say in the middle. So your introduction should be perfect. It should be with the intriguing questions, so in order to gain the attention of the audience, and you should end your live or your communication with a proper summary, so people would remember whatever you have discussed during your speech or your presentation. And speaking of remembering in the beginning and end portion, you should follow the PIP approach. PIP approach means purpose, information, and preview. You should start your communication, your speech, your presentation with the proper purpose. What is the purpose of your speech, of your communication, of your message, and then provide the information. Then end the communication with the preview, summarize the whole presentation, so people would remember whatever you have discussed in your message. As I said earlier, communication is an art. The only way to achieve perfection is by practice. And if you want to, we are living in a world of technology, and you have the smartphone and the camera. Record your presentation, your speech, your communication style, and then watch it later. You should listen to yourself. You should watch your performance, and it would help you to know that how do you sound like, how do you look like, how's your gesture, how are your expression. All of these, when you look at yourself, your performance, then it would help you to better analyze yourself. If it requires improvement, then you should work on the weak points. So that's how you can improve your communication skill. Time management is the another important element in the communication. Whatever whatever you are discussing, you should discuss it in a proper and limited time frame. So if your communication is going to be a bit lengthy, is going to be a bit long, then you should know how to keep the interest of the audience. Comedians are the best. They know how to keep the attention of the audience, and you should avoid the inappropriate and irrelevant and improper jokes. Your jokes should be relevant to the environment, to the environmental setting. While communicating, your communication style should be comfortable and should be flexible. It would be easier for you to convey your message. And when we talk about business professionals and lawyers, they follow the extemporaneous style. It is the style where you create the list of the main points, of the highlights, whatever you want to discuss, and discuss them one by one. And instead of remembering and memorizing the whole speech, memorizing the whole speech doesn't offer, it may seem good that you have the plan of everything, but it doesn't offer you the flexibility. If you forget about one line, then you would jeopardize everything. So in order to avoid embarrassment, you should create the list of main points and then discuss those points one by one. The other most important element in the communication is knowing the audience, and it is the most important point in the communication skill. Is you should know what is the education level, what is the interest, what are their hobbies, what is the gender of your audience. And if you know that, then you can talk to them easily. If you don't know the interest, the hobbies, the level, the income level, their gender, for instance, the interest of teenagers and the interest of middle-aged women or the elderly people are completely different. So you should know the audience level, their income level, their interest, their hobbies. So when you know your audience, then you talk to them effectively. According to a research report, people only remember the information that is presented in a creative way. So you should be innovative and creative in presenting your message and in your presentation. If you are creative and innovative, then it would allow other people to remember whatever you are saying. If you are following the just like ordinary routine style, then people won't remember anything. As I said earlier, you have to connect with the audience. You have to know the audience, ask questions, inquire the information about them. The goal is not to just to convey the message. The goal is to earn their respect. You should be friendly, but while being friendly, it doesn't mean you have to cross the line. You should be friendly and professional. There's a minor difference there, and you have to maintain that difference. And once you are friendly and professional and you are connecting with them, then you would earn their respect. Once you earn their respect, then they will listen to you, whatever your jokes are, whatever your humor is. Finally, and most importantly, is effective listening. If you want to be an effective communicator, then you should be a good listener. If you can listen, then you can communicate well. And these are some of the main hints and main points that would help you to improve your communication skill. And if you have any question, or if you think differently, or if you think I missed some point, just leave it in the comment box below. I'll answer it to you. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have a good day, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are, whatever time it is in your part of the world.